Hi, namaste, and welcome to yoga. My name is Kirsten. Today's practice is yoga for the spine. So we're just going to pay a little extra attention to the spine, helping it become a little bit more flexible, hopefully a little bit more comfortable. Spine is so important in all of our daily activities, from sitting to standing to moving. Just gives us support, and it's never too early or too late to improve spinal health and flexibility. So with that, let's get started. So we'll start seated on the mat. I like to sit on a folded up blanket, so if you want to grab something to sit on, a cushion or a blanket, go for that. Make yourself comfortable, cross-legged seat. Allow the eyes to start to close or soften the gaze down past the nose. We'll start by tuning into the breath. So just noticing the inhale coming in through the nose and the exhale going out the nose. We'll start by moving through the 5 senses, bringing attention to all the different senses that we are experiencing. So beginning with feeling, notice the sensation of your seat sitting on the cushion or the towel or the blanket or on the mat directly. Notice all the points of contact, the sits bones maybe, the feet, everything contacting the floor. Notice the feel of your clothing against your skin. Notice the feel of the air in the room around you. Notice if the air feels cool or warm. Notice if there's a breeze or if it's still. Notice if it feels humid or dry. Noticing everything you can feel. Moving to the sense of hearing, so listening for the farthest away or quietest sound you can hear. Without needing to identify it, just start to tune in to a faraway sound. Now shift the attention to a more nearby sound or a louder sound. This one is, I think, interesting to do outdoors sometimes. I was walking my dogs the other day at the park and I could hear, you hear all these different noises and don't really differentiate them, they're just sound. I tried kind of listening to one sound at a time and noticed different birds and a helicopter, and there's a river there, so I noticed the sound of the river and sound of people in the distance. It was really all these sounds that sound like a cacophony normally. Start to tune into one at a time, and it's kind of an interesting exercise. Moving on to the sense of smell. Notice if you can smell anything. And if not, just notice the quality of the air entering and exiting the nose. Notice if you can taste anything. It might be subtle, you might not notice anything, but just Pay attention to the sensation of taste. Tune into the sensation of sight. So if your eyes are open, keep them softly gazing past the nose toward the floor. Just notice the floor in front of you. If your eyes are closed, you can keep them closed and just use your mind's eye. So visualize yourself sitting in the room that you're in. Visualize without looking around. Visualize the furniture around you. Visualize the walls and the ceiling and the floor. Visualize yourself sitting in this room. Good. Bring your attention back to the breath, the inhale and the exhale. Intentionally take a long, slow inhale through the nose. And a long, slow exhale through the nose. Now bring the awareness to the base of the spine. We'll walk through the entire spine just with the mind's eye. So imagine the very base of the spine, the tailbone. And start to imagine that you're working one vertebrae at a time, moving up through the lower part of the spine, that lower part of the spine that's fused together as part of the pelvic girdle. And then moving the awareness up to the low back. So noticing a small natural curve in the lumbar spine. And walking the attention up just a little bit to the middle back. There's a slight curve outward. And bring the attention bit by bit up through the vertebrae of the middle upper back, part of the spine that's attached to the ribs. And working up toward the top of the back. Moving into the neck, the lower neck, middle of the neck, all the way up to the very top of the neck where it meets the skull. And now imagine that you're bringing your breath up and down the spine. So the inhale is going to flow in through the nose and all the way down the spine to the floor, filling up the body. And then on the exhale, imagine the breath going back up and out the nose. So flowing up the spine and out. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. And exhale up. Good, back to a normal breath pattern. And now try the opposite. So imagine, even though we're breathing through the nose, imagine that you're gathering the energy of the breath from the earth. And on the inhale, start at the base of the spine and inhale up. All the way up to the top of the spine and back down on the exhale. And inhale, growing tall. Crown of the head reaches toward the ceiling, and exhale, the breath goes down the spine, back out the tailbone. Inhale up. And exhale down. and return to a normal breath pattern. You can start to flutter the eyes open if they were closed. Go ahead and drop the chin to the chest. Starting to wake up the spine physically, roll the left ear to the left shoulder. Chin back to the chest and right ear to right shoulder. And slowly rocking the head back and forth. Maybe exhale when the chin comes down and inhale when the ear comes to the shoulder. Nice and slow. Good. Next time the chin comes down to the chest, pause, and then lift the head up back to a neutral spine. Now if the legs are starting to feel uneasy, let's just go ahead and switch them out. So uncross them, maybe wiggle the toes a little bit, wake them up, and recross in the other direction. We'll do some seated cat and cow, so waking up the center, the middle part of the spine. So reach the arms forward, round the back, drop the chin to the chest, cat, and then bring the hands to the knees, roll the shoulders back, shine the heart forward, look up toward the ceiling, cow, and press the hands away, cat, and looking forward, cow. Exhaling for the cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale. Inhale. And do 3 more rounds in your own breath. Good, and come back to neutral spine. Good, drop the left hand to the mat, raise the right arm up and over, side stretch. Good, come back up and other side. And come back up. And now gentle twist, crossing the right hand over the left knee, left hand behind the body, and look back over the left shoulder. And twisting the other direction. And come back to face front. All right, moving the blanket out of the way, or I suppose you can keep it if you want to. We're gonna go into staff pose. So turning sideways on the mat, straighten the legs right out in front of you. Come up to sit nice and tall on the sits bones. If you'd like to sit on the blanket, that's totally fine. Find a comfortable seat like this. Maybe wiggle the toes a little bit, roll the ankles, waking up those legs. They've been crossed for quite a while. We'll do our forward fold series. So start to walk the hands down the shins, reaching for the shins, the ankles, maybe the big toes, grabbing the big toes with peace fingers. And inhale, looking forward, flat back. And exhale, dropping the nose toward the knees. Good, come back up to a seat. Bend the right leg, bring that right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Walk the hands down the left leg, single leg, forward fold. Good, come back up to a seat. Draw that right knee up to the chest, plant the right foot on the mat, nice and close to the leg, and twist, looking over the right shoulder, hugging that knee nice and tight into the chest. If this is too strong on the low back or on the belly, feel free to twist the other direction, open twist away from the leg. Totally fine either way. And come back to face front, straighten that right leg, and bend the left, bringing the foot to the inside of the right thigh. Walk the hands down the right leg, and single leg, forward fold. Good, come back up to a seat. Draw that left knee up to the chest, foot on the floor, and twist. So open twist away from the knee or closed twist toward the knee, looking over the shoulder. Come back to face front and move right into all fours, hands and knees. So coming up to a tabletop position, nice flat back, hands and knees, and we'll do some cat and cow here. So coming back into that, waking up the spine. So exhale, round the back, drop the chin, cat. Inhale, look forward, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, drop the belly toward the floor, look forward, cow. Exhale, round the spine, cat. Inhale, cow. And 3 more with your own breath. And come back to a neutral spine. All right, straightening the right leg out behind you and the left arm, bird dog. Just holding this balance, nice tight core. The core, tightening the core, so drawing the belly button toward the spine will help provide support to the spine. It's very important to have both strength and flexibility. Good. On your next exhale, draw the elbow and the knee together in a crunch. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch. And drop the hand, drop the knee. Now other side, so straighten the left leg and the right arm, then hold. Supporting from the core. Good, and on your next exhale, draw the knee and the elbow together. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, stretch. And drop the hand, drop the knee. Walk the knees as wide as the mat. Big toes together, press the hips back, and child pose. And coming back up to tabletop, walking the knees to about hip width apart. Straighten the right leg behind you again, keeping the foot on the floor this time. Take the left foot and turn it out to about 90 degrees, so straight out from the mat. Come up off the right arm comes up and overhead, side plank. Feel that nice long line along the right side of the body, all the way from the fingertips to the foot. Go and drop the right hand and right knee and switch sides. So straighten the left foot, bring the right foot out to about 90 degrees and side plank on the right, stretching that left side. Coming back to tabletop. Now come to face the long edge of the mat on the knees, sitting back on the knees, hero pose. Just pause for a minute in this position. And then we're going to come up on the knees, straighten the left leg out to the side, bring the arms up overhead, clasp the fingers, just the pointers pointing up toward the ceiling, and then lean over toward that straight leg over to the left. Maintain some lift on the left side, so even though we're kind of crunching over to the left, maintain some stability there so we're not just collapsing into it, but really feeling that stretch along the right side body. Good. Come back up, let go of the hands, and switch legs. So kneeling on the left knee, straighten the right leg, arms clasp overhead. This time, try crossing the hands the opposite direction. So whichever thumb was on top before, whichever one feels more natural, try doing the opposite. Thumb on top, pointers up toward the ceiling, and leaning over to the right, side stretch. Good. Come back up, let go of the hands, drop the knees, come back to our tabletop. Walk the hands forward a little bit on the mat and start to lower down all the way down to the mat, nice and slow and with control, elbows nice and close to the body, all the way down to the mat. Now using the arms, press up, cobra, and come back down to rest on the mat. Inhale, looking forward, cobra, and exhale, coming back down. And 3 more. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, back down. Inhale, cobra, exhale, back down. Last one. Inhale, cobra, exhale, back down. And pressing with the hands all the way back into child pose. Resting the forehead on the mat, countering that deep back bend. Good. Coming back forward. Walk the hands forward and lower all the way down to the belly. This time reach the arms forward and lift the legs off the mat using the muscles of the back, Superman. And release the arms, release the legs, forehead on the mat. Good. Arms and legs come up again, Superman. And relax back down to the floor. Arms and legs come up again. And back down. One more, Superman. Really nice strong back. Good, and relax. Use the arms to press all the way back into child pose again. Good, coming back up to tabletop. Walk the hands out just a few inches forward, tuck the toes, and lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Holding and breathing, dropping the heels toward the floor, lifting the tailbone up toward the ceiling. Good, and I will flow from here, so drop the knees back to tabletop. Inhale, look forward. And on the exhale, raise the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale, down dog, and hold. Good, now raising the left foot up behind you, point the toes toward the ceiling. Three-legged dog. Now bend the knee, opening the hip to the side. And now imagine that you're stirring a jar of peanut butter with that foot. So start to do some little circles with that foot, allowing the circles to come into the hip a little bit. Good, now straighten the leg again, three-legged dog. And step the foot through between the hands. Good, drop the right knee down to the mat. Untuck the toes, so flat, top of the foot flat to the floor. We'll come up to a low lunge. And then bend the elbows like cactus arms. Pressing the hips forward into that lunge. And now draw the arms together. So draw the two arms together so the elbows and the hands meet. And then open them back up, cactus. And draw them together nice and slow, like closing a book. And then opening the book, cactus. And one more, closing the book. And opening the book. And drop the hands to frame the foot. Step the knee back and tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog, and hold. And lift the right foot up, pointing the toes toward the ceiling, three-legged dog. Good, bend the knee, open the hip to the side. And start doing little hip circles, stirring a jar of peanut butter. Good, and straighten the leg once again, three-legged dog. And step through between the hands, drop the left knee, low lunge, and cactus arms. Draw the arms together, close the book, and open the book. Nice and slow, almost as if you've got resistance. And closing the book, and nice and slow opening, cactus. And one more time, closing the book, and opening. And drop the hands to frame the foot. This time take the left foot and step it forward to meet the right, forward fold. Bring the hands to the shins, look forward, flat back, inhale. Exhale, drop the head, forward fold, and hold. Good, and slowly roll the spine, one vertebra at a time, coming up to stand. Head is the last thing to come up. Roll the shoulders, bring the head up, Tadasana, mountain pose. Good, now stepping back with the right foot, we'll come right into warrior two. So nice wide step back, bending the front knee, the left knee, arms come facing forward and back of the room, warrior two. Now straighten the front leg, drop the right hand to the right leg, bring the left arm up and over, peaceful warrior. Bend the front leg, come back into warrior two. Straighten the leg, peaceful warrior, and bring the breath into it. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And three more on your own time. And drop the hands. Now turn both feet to face the long edge of the mat, wide legs. Bring the hands to the hips and hinge forward, wide leg forward fold, reaching for the floor. Good, standing back up nice and slow, head is the last piece to come up. And we'll turn the toes to the right or the back edge of the mat. So warrior two on the other side, bend the front knee, arms reach forward and back, warrior two. Now inhale, straighten the front leg, peaceful warrior. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Three more in your own time. And hold. Good, drop the arms, straighten the legs, and heel toe the feet together. Good, let's move into a tree balance. So bring the weight to the right foot. You can either kickstand the left foot, bending the knee, or start to bring that left foot up to rest on the shin. Maybe bring it all the way up to the top of the leg. Find a spot that's comfortable where you can stay. Bring that left hand to rest on that left knee. Right arm comes up and over, leaning over to the left, side stretch with balance. Good, release the arm, release the legs, and switching sides. So weight in the left foot, kickstand the right or draw it up the left shin, right hand to right knee, left arm up and over, side stretch. Good, release the arms and the legs. Good, coming back to stand. All right, sit back into chair pose. So bend the knees, sit back like you're sitting into a chair. Draw all 10 toes up off the mat, pressing the weight back into the heels. Arms up in opposition. Good, now press the hands forward as if you're pressing the wall in front of you. And round the back, dropping the chin to the chest. Good, now raise the arms up, open the chest, looking up toward the top of the wall, keeping these legs bent in chair, and press away, round the back, drop the chin. This is another cat and cow variety. Arms up, looking up toward the ceiling, and press away, round the back, and look up toward the ceiling. And one more, press away, and up toward the ceiling. Good, drop the hands to the knees and start to sit back. We go all the way down into a squat, so take your time coming down to a nice low squat, up on the toes. Heels can come up off the mat. Hands can rest on the floor if you'd like for support, or on the knees, that works too. Or bring the hands together at heart center, really feeling this balance on the toes. Good, and as you're ready, go ahead and sit back onto the mat. We'll do our forward fold series once again, walking the hands down the shins, reaching for the ankles or the big toes. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, nose drops to the knees. Starting to cool down, letting the breath start to slow, lengthening the inhale and lengthening the exhale. Go ahead and come back up to a seat. Bend the right foot to the inside of the left thigh, and single leg forward fold. Good, coming up, draw that right knee into the chest and twist. Maybe if you did the open twist before, see if you can do the closed twist, see how that feels in the back and the belly. If it's still uncomfortable, definitely do open twist away from the knee, totally up to you. And as we twist, with each inhale, imagine the crown of the head grows tall toward the ceiling, lengthening the spine. And on the exhale, relax into the twist, twisting the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. Good, untwisting, straighten that leg, bend the other knee, and single leg forward fold on the other side. Good, coming back up to a seat. Draw that knee up into the chest and twist. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, relax into the twist. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, twist. Good, come back to face front, straighten the legs, scoot to about halfway, midpoint in the mat, and go ahead and lie back down on the mat. We'll do a little bit of bridge, so place the hands by the sides, palms face down, walk the feet nice and close to the body, press the heels into the mat, and start to peel the tailbone up off the mat, rolling one vertebra at a time, rolling the spine, lifting the hips up toward the ceiling. Until you come all the way up on the top of the back, the shoulder area, and roll back down, imagining one vertebra rolling into the earth at a time, pressing the low back into the ground, and finally the tailbone and allowing the low back to come back to its natural arch. Good, once again, press the low back into the floor, raise the tailbone up, and rolling bridge. And roll slowly all the way back down. And one more, rolling all the way up. And this time pausing at the top, and maybe walk the hands closer together, walk the shoulder blades closer together. Press the hips nice and high toward the ceiling. Good, and roll the spine nice and slow with control back down to the mat. Good, hug the right knee into the chest. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit. Good, straighten the left leg along the floor, still hugging that right knee into the chest. Good, now cross the right knee over to the left side. Reach the right arm out, looking over the right shoulder. Supine twist. Good, coming back to lying on the mat, drop your right foot, hug the left knee into the chest, rock back and forth a little bit, straighten the right leg, and hold, hugging that knee into the chest. Good, cross the left knee over to the right side, looking over the left shoulder, twist. And coming back to neutral spine, drop that left foot. Now we'll move into Shavasana. You've got some choices, so you can straighten both legs along the mat, palms up, arms by the sides, walk the shoulders down the back, find a Shavasana, corpse pose, or you can bend the knees if you'd like, if that's too strong in the low back. Bring the feet as wide as the mat, knock the knees together for constructive rest. Or maybe place a blanket or a cushion underneath the knees. You can also bring the feet together, drop the knees out to the sides for a reclined butterfly. So find a position that seems comfortable for you today for Shavasana. And go ahead and settle in. Noticing the breath entering the nose, flowing down the spine all the way to the tailbone. And then on the exhale, the air flows back up and out. Inhale, traveling down the spine. And exhale, back up. Inhale, down the spine. And exhale, back up. Relaxing the muscles of the head and the face. Drop the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. Letting go of tension in the shoulders, the arms, the torso, and the back. Relaxing the hips, the legs, the feet, the toes. Settling into this final rest position. Stay with this. This is the time that the body incorporates the work we've just done. This is a time of balance. Counterbalance to activity is rest. Take this moment of mindful rest. Stay with it. Listen to the music. Notice the breath flowing in and out of the nose. Notice the body relaxing. If you experience tension coming back into one area of the body, just send it a nice cleansing, nourishing breath and relax. Starting to bring awareness back into your space. Deepening the inhale, lengthening the exhale. Start to bring some gentle movement into the fingers and the toes, maybe rolling the wrists and the ankles. And reach the arms up overhead, full body stretch. And make your way over to one side or the other. Just pausing on the side for a moment before using the arms to press up to a seat. Bring the hands together at heart center. Drop the chin to the chest. Final lengthening of the back of the neck, lengthening the spine. Thank you so much for practicing yoga with me today. Be well, everybody. Namaste.